yourselves on these matters. But more importantly,
I don't agree. I don't agree with that line.
You may not agree, Mr. Ndlozi, but to be fair,
I don't agree with you with that line of questioning the VBS, and this is the problem of the SABC. I mean, the South African media. There is actually a principle of proportional reporting in this country. There is a new matter on the table that the EFF is expressing itself on. Instead, you invite me on this show to repeat myself about the things that happened last year, the things I've been on this show, on many different shows of the SABC speak about as last year's November. There is a matter that the EFF is joining a court application in defense of the Public Protector's Constitution. And that's the point of the Daily Maverick people, is that instead of you entertaining us on new matters, you must have us keep repeating ourselves about the things that we've already said.
Ndlozi, I am getting to that. I think if you were fair enough to give me an opportunity.
That's my position on VBS. That's my point.
I hear that. And if you're fair enough to allow me to ask you the questions, you'd then hear that I am moving to that question. So I will then ask the question, why do you feel that there is a connection between what Daily Maverick has written and what you're saying about Pravin Gordhan?
Well, as I said, I mean, this is every time, it's not for the first time, and there's nothing new that, I mean, I've already indicated this. Every time we have to express ourselves about Pravin Gordhan, the Daily Maverick goes to recirculate questions and recycle stories that have nothing new in them, so that we don't talk and express ourselves about Pravin Gordhan, but we come here and speak about the VBS.
But now you've been given an opportunity, Mr. Ndlozi. The question is, to somebody say as naive as I am, or perhaps I'm just dunce and I'm not getting it. The question is, what is the connection? I want to understand that. Why does the Daily Maverick writing an article have to do with your latest pronouncement on Pravin Gordhan?
You see, it's a bit so, and that's the entire propaganda scheme here, is that instead of us spending time holding the Public Protector's report, interrogating it, subjecting Pravin to public scrutiny, you and I are busy talking about Polly van Wyk, the Daily Maverick, the VBS, all matters that have been ventilated on different public platform medias. Actually, there is more discourse. You go and look at your research. There is more reporting that has been done about the EFF in relation to VBS than any institution. Yet 16 million, which they claim, accounts for 0.8% of the entire money that is said to have been lost in VBS. Yet we constitute over 60% of the report. And that's the point we are making. It an orchestrated campaign in relation to discrediting the EFF. Every time we have to say something critical about the status quo, about Pravin, whether it's in relation to the rogue unit, whether it's in relation to his actions in SARS, there's always a recycling of stories. Even during the Zondo Commission appearances of Pravin, every time we've had to say something, then they will go recycle the same things that they've written to rewrite them, so that we are not able to speak and express ourselves about what's happening in SARS, about the actions of Pravin Gordhan, who are seized with having to repeat ourselves on VBS. This is really not proper news, by the way.
So no doubt you would then be pleased with the recommendations that the Public Protector has made to the President, that action ought to be taken against him, Pravin Gordhan, that is, with regard to that matter.
It's not about us being pleased. It's a matter of principles. There are calls, and you will know, the Public Protector released reports, over 5 reports on Friday. We didn't say anything. The entire campaign then began, led in the main by the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, that the Public Protector must be removed. And in our view, that was a direct attack on the Public Protector as a constitutional office, merely because she ruled against Pravin. Of over 5 reports that were talked about on Friday, they single out Pravin Gordhan because the Public Protector must not find against Pravin Gordhan. And by the way, the matter upon which the Public Protector has found against Pravin Gordhan is actually a substantial matter in which there's maladministration, and which must make all of us in Parliament, as people who've got executive oversight, concerned about the actions of ministers who act on behalf of the people, abusing their power to give their friends or their favorite colleagues, as it were, a wrong, at the expense of taxpayers' money, settlements in relation to their early retirement deals. So That is the point here. It's not about whether we are pleased or not. We are coming in defense of the Constitution. Pravin Gordhan, if he has a problem with the public protector's report, he must take it on review. Nobody, merely because the public protector is found against Pravin Gordhan, must now mobilize civil society that they must come out there and demand that Busisiwe Mkhwebane must be recused. Pravin Gordhan is not above the law. Like everybody else who takes the public protector's report on review, that's it. It ends there. And until that decision is set aside, as the Constitutional Court said, her decisions are binding and can only be set aside not by a review, but by a court of law.
But what is your position then on the public protector herself and her fitness to hold office? There have been some calls in certain court